Why, hello everyone, I call shenanigans. Hopefully all of you have been doing well over the last couple months. I've been pretty busy with work and reality and all that fun stuff, but I've also been working on MAME 2003 Xtreme, PUAE Xtreme, and of course, Ludicrous N64 Xtreme. They have a more nice component as far as like the next release, and yes, I've said this over the last 2 years, but yes, there actually is a release coming fairly soon because I have some of the stuff finally finished up. And I give tremendous props and thanks to the incredible, amazing collaboration of the MAME 2003 Plus team, including Arcades 2003, Grand 2258, Mahoney T944, and definitely as well, Dink C64 of the FB Neo team. Let's load up a before and after result here because System 32 Multi-32 games are fantastic. And here's the before result when we started getting accuracy added in, and Mahoney T944 has been working on this stuff for quite some time now, and it's getting better and better. It's getting to near perfection. If you look up like true hardware videos of them playing them on the real cabinet compared to like how they work on like the current 2003 Plus on PC, it is pretty spot on. But here's an earlier incarnation. You got to remember that we're on a 1.008 to 1.53 gigahertz processor as far as like the mini classics are concerned. That is just too slow to run a lot of this stuff. So this is the earlier incarnation of Hard Dunk, and you can see it's not very viable to play on the minis in the earlier incarnation. Again, I'm showing you before and after results here. And this is a big, big thing here. Just watch how I start the game here. I'll show you a few before and after results, and yeah, System 32 is just phenomenal. It's going to be working on the Mega Drive, SNES, NES, PlayStation, Classic, and Amiga 500 Mini for the release, but it's not going to be playing like this. This is how it did play initially when we started getting accuracy in. But then the next phase of this, and again, you're going to really get a kick out of this because right here, here's the next phase right here. I noticed there's a little bit of a curmudgeon of slowdown here, and I determined it was related to a cludge which was added, and the cludge is kind of like a hacky fix. Think of like a duct tape fix, like say you have like part of your panel on your car falling off, so you put duct tape there, that'd be like a cludge hacky fix. Not like an appropriate like a Weldon blowtorch type fix. That's what we really, really ultimately want. I've used a few duct tape fixes for the course and eventually try to get a more of like a true welder fix in there. But watch the backboard there. So the game starts out okay. It's reasonably fast here. But you'll notice that, see, you got the flash in there with the weird pixelization. But the game just, when I put on like a frame per second counter and a RAM usage, it got worse and worse. But I took the cludge out and just used more of the recent code, and I ended up with this. This is kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm going to give you a little background into how I kind of arrive at some of this stuff here. So here's where I'm at now. Again, there's always room for improvement, but like I said, I want to get to at least a stable enough state where you could like enjoy this with your friend or loved one, etc. See? Much, much more playable here. Hell yeah. Notice it's not just like slowing down like right from the get-go here. And when it comes down to slow down in various games, it could be like dynamic recompiler, it could be frame buffers, it could be a whole variety of things. But here's another interesting thing here. I'm going to load up right here. This is Title Fight. I have this on the playlist as well. And there's a clutch for this, and the clutch for this is kind of the hecky fix to give it a background environment. Here's without the clutch. So you're going to see how a clutch is before and after here. You're learning a new word today, cludge. K-L-U-D-G-E. Kind of a hacky fix, a duct tape fix. See the background there? You don't have a true background there. So we're going to start the game per normal here. See, you don't really see the background there. It's like kind of like COVID. You don't have the audience members. Even like when we finally got sporting events again, you had like cardboard cutouts in the audience. We don't want that. So I'm going to load this again. Close content. And here's with the clutch. So not hard dunk title fight with the clutch. Okay. And it's truly a big difference there. And how many of you watched the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight? I mean, I stayed up way past my bedtime because I had to wake up early a.m. for work. And it's just, you ever notice that Mike Tyson didn't throw a single uppercut? That was like one of his signature moves. I mean, Then I'm finding out that speculatively, he in his contract. I'm not saying this is a fact, but it seems like this is being stated online to a point as an opinion or just hearsay. Is that he wasn't allowed to do uppercuts at all? And I mean, come on, he could have easily went out there and pounced on Jake Paul, taken him out in about 18 seconds with a jab, a hook, and an uppercut. This is cool because he actually could they almost do Street Fighter moves here. So think of my character as like Tyson right here, and I'm taking Jake Paul on here. Oh, come on, Jake Paul. Oh. Keep doing these hooks. Haymakers. I love my boxing games, and there are so many, only so many like this. We got Tough Man Contest on Mega Drive with Butterbean. And you ever see the Jackass thing where you had Butterbean take one punch to the giant X to his face and just decimated it? I mean, come on now. Come on, let's take him down. Opponent. Yeah. Come on, Jake Paul, go down. I've had enough of your vines. Go down, Jake Paul. It was still an entertaining fight considering, but I really would have loved to see like Tyson throw a little more ferocity into the beginning of it. And again, I suck at this game. I'm getting a few tips from Mahoney T94, but as far as like the controls there. Oh no, am I gonna lose? Jake Paul beat Tyson again. Let me get out. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be by decision here. Oh, I'm gonna do a rematch here. Need to do a rematch. We're going to pretend he didn't even see the fight because it was like getting hung up anyway. You know what? We're like, I was actually on to Netflix watching it, but other friends of ours were like, hey, you into that fight? No, we can't even connect to it. Let's try this again. I'm going to switch to my analog here. Yeah, come on. Don't give him a chance. Yeah. Uppercut when he tries punching. Yeah. Oh, good tip, Mahoney. That uppercut's working great. Oh, wow. No. You need a force feedback to really get this going. Haymaker. Uppercut. Bye, Jake Paul. Yes. Okay, that's how it should have been. And here's the fight thing. That was classic right there. Now it's going to be a... Oh, no. I didn't expect that for the last one. I'm getting out of the way I could. I should have had the decision there. Okay, so close contact. But yeah, Title Fight is a fantastic game. And then, of course, we have Supercross. Let me load it up for a moment here. I think I have that on my... No, I got to load that up manually. And Supercross, if you noticed before, it actually didn't have, like, proper engine noises. It also ran kind of slow. So I'm going to load that with the same core. And here's where it gets interesting here. These are my test builds, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 test builds there. I've been working and trying to just get everything like amplified to the extreme performance here. We'll load the same core here. Again, if you load this game before, you'd have the initial start of your engine, but then when you're racing, you wouldn't hear the engine. I'm going to give an example of a before and after on this so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, and here's what gets interested here because in the real arcade, watch carefully here. In the real arcade, you had double monitors, and this actually had the performance hit on the Mini Classics. That's why I could run like B, A, or both. I'm just going to run one right now. Okay, here we go. Awesome sauce here. Love these type of motocross games. Like I said, my mic... Oh, let's not wreck right there. I'm thinking of Road Rash where I used to go as quick as I could. And then I just like dive like a mile away. I love the soundtrack to the original Road Rash. Remember like Soundgarden, Therapy. A lot of the music I got back in the day was like from watching Headbangers Ball, Beavis and Butthead, etc. I mean, just so many great bands. I used to see them locally at like the Agora in Cleveland. And I also saw like musicians like Pink Floyd. I saw like Robert Plant. And Robert Plant and Jimmy Page before they had their fallout and stuff. I saw them together, and it was actually John Bonham's son playing drums at the time, and Rusted Root opened up for them. I saw like Jim Rose Circus along with Nine Inch Nails. I saw Pantera when Dimebag was with them, and I'm failing at this. I'm on because I had my control scheme set up backwards there because I was just playing Title Fight with my analog. So I'm switching back to normal controls here. Feeling so miserably here. Oh, jeez. I can do better than this. Oh, wow. I love these type of games, though. So I'm failing miserably here. Sorry, Mahoney T944, for not doing the best demonstration of that particular game. But let's go to another subset here. And these are all the games right in a row. We have like Alien 3, Arabian Fight, Air Rescue, Burning Rival, Dark Edge, Dragon Ball Z, the F1 games, Go Next 2. And Go Next 2 particularly is interesting here because here's how it used to run here. This is essentially how it used to run in MAME 2003 stream. I had it running quick, but it wasn't accurate. You're going to see the issues with these shadows here. Let's check this out. Again, sorry, Mahoney T944, for just butchering the Supercross game. I'm going to do a better demonstration of this, I promise. Okay, so here's how this used to run. It used to run fast, but you look, all the shadows are garbled here. Oh, of course, I got to sync the audio here. We want to have synced audio. See the shadows there? They're not proper at all. There's just like the collision with the shadows. It's not there whatsoever here. Okay? And then here's our initial fix of the shadows here. I'll do the MAME 2003 plus accuracy for the fix of the shadows there. Make sure I do the right thing right there. Again, this is not going to be the final version. I mean, when you run the MAME 2003 Plus and the 2003 stream for the release for the mini classics at your 1.008 to 1.53 gigahertz, you're going to have better performance and speed for the final results. I'm just showing you kind of the path that has been taken for all this. So notice it's a little bit slower here. And it's not going to matter whether or not you like sync or desync the audio here. It's just the accuracy is kind of taking a little bit of a performance and speed hit, and that's just natural with this type of thing. So look, you got proper shadows here, but we want to have just a little bit more performance and speed. Okay? So we're going to close that, and kind of open where I'm at on there now. We'll load the same core I was on. And I had another issue here that was kind of interesting. I'll show you the other issue. And Grant2258 was very, very quick in helping remedy this situation there. I noticed that in the earlier version I had like a louder sound for Go Next and etc. all the games on driver. And it seemed like it was lower volume, but I was kind of troubleshooting it, and I determined it was actually missing sound channels. And Grant2258 was quickly able to pinpoint that, and I have a fix for that in there. But I'll show you what I'm talking about here, because here's another thing he added. Because I want to be able to handle the clock parameters on the game. And right here, I could do the tilde button, which is the button on your keyboard, directly below your escape key. And I could go down. When I went to channel 2 here, it was at 0. Like, my channels were at 0, but I could actually, like, literally take the volume up on all of these, and it's pretty badass that I could do this. So you could do this if you want to on the actual finality here, particularly MAME 2003 Extreme for now. And a lot of things will get tested in MAME 2003 Extreme first, and then if they are viable and stable enough, they'll make it into 2003 Plus. But right here, the CPU 0 is actually the video clock. You could underclock it, overclock it. But right here is the CPU 1 would be the sound channel. So if you have a little bit of sound stuttering, you could actually take it down, kind of underclock it, and fix it up that way. But I'm going to take the tilde back off, start the game. And this is kind of where I'm at with performance and speed here. And we could, like I said, alter the sound, and it'll save as a configuration. So we got good shadows here, good speed. See? So this is roughly how it's going to be playing on MAME 2003 Extreme Amp for the release. Again, Mahoney T944. I'm not sure how much time you devoted to fix this stuff, but very, very ecstatic, because you might remember several years back when I first was able to get MAME System 32 even working in MAME 2003 Extreme. It initially generated an error log saying this was an unsupported driver and would crash back to the main menu on the Mini Classics, but I was able to go into there and just have it ignore that, and then the games were able to load. But again, you'd have like the shadow issues and all that, and it's just so nice that we finally have working System 32 games. Fantastic, fantastic. But I'm going to do another video where I show like some of the other games and they're fixed up. But another thing that I really, really want to show here, and I just randomly one day just said this. I just randomly said, you know, it'd be beautiful to have ThunderBlade working in MAME 2003, because here's how it used to run. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is exactly how, like, if you load up ThunderBlade, it used to load up like this. Look, there's no background there at all. I'm starting to, look, I can take off, look. You don't have any graphics there. Like, you can see little flickers of the enemies there. It's just not working at all. So this is where it was. This is how it did function. But then we got it implemented. But in the initial implementation here, right here, make sure I do the right one here. Here's the initial implementation for it, I believe. If I do it backwards, I apologize. But the AI was kind of mucked up in the initial implementation here. And I'm going to try to get through this quick so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm just going to quickly get through here. So I want to get to like the actual first boss. And I'll show you before and after. It's either going to be this one or the other. Like I said, I've gone through so many here. But when I had the Sega Master System, I used to play the port of this, as well as Alice Kid in Miracle World. Like, just, it was such a fantastic system. Never got old. But with the AI not properly intact, you could literally just like hang off the edge of the screen here and avoid enemies. It's kind of funny playing the different incarnations of this game, particularly like the Mega Drive version, which is awful for both Space Harrier and ThunderBlade. It's just not a very, very viable, fun game. And I have this on harder difficulty in the dip switches right now on purpose, just to have better collision as far as like testing. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. See, I put the difficulty on the hardest intentionally there, just to kind of force this. So I want to test like exactly how like accurate the AI would actually be at like taking me out of the sky. But the thing I want to show you here is like when I get to the first boss here. It's either like I said in this version or the other one right here. The boss didn't have AI initially when we first got there. Yeah, the boss is actually here, so I'm playing the proper one right now. Okay? So I'm playing the proper one now. So check this out. Make sure I'm on the right one there. That's 2003 Xtreme Amped. Now here's how it was before that. This is the initial implementation of the fix-up for ThunderBlade. And after I started testing it, I'm like, the AI doesn't seem to be there. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do the same thing here. You're going to see the AI is not going to be as accurate now. I'm just going to literally, I could probably just like not even touch my controller and not be taken out at all. Speed it up a little bit. I just have to at least avoid the building. You see how things are just simply not hitting me now. I got taken down like quite a few times in the final version, which I just showed you a few minutes ago. Kind of coasting through here. And I was kind of thrown off at first. I'm like, man, should I be hit? I'm just going to hang up here. And I kind of feel like none of these copters are going to take me out at all here. See, I'm just coasting through here. I'm not really getting taken out as easily now. See, even if they fire at me, they're going to completely miss. Whereas, like in the last version of this, they were just hitting me left and right, no matter what I did. Like, even these planes aren't even going to hit me. Normally, they shoot at me and hit me, but nope. No danger. Again, I have it on the hardest difficulty intentionally here, just to kind of show you, like, hey, even on the hardest difficulty, the AI is not touching me. And I just crashed into the copter there, so that doesn't count. It's kind of like when you're playing, like, Kid Icarus, and you go to the top left, and in the final stage, you're untouchable. I kind of think a lot of games are designed around the route of having, like, little safety spots so you can, like, get to the stages. But look right here. I'm not even going to touch this boss at all. It's not firing at me at all. And you might have noticed if you ever play, like, a game like Galaga 88, and you have, like, waves of enemies, like, in the bonus stages. What happens if you don't fight any of the enemies in a bonus stage? Do you still get a bonus? Yes, you do. Sometimes you get a free life. I'm just going to make it to the end of this boss right here. And watch what happens when I make it to the end of this boss. Again, tremendous props and thanks to Arcade 2003, Mahoney T944, and of course Grant2258 for just making all of this possible. And again, a lot of times I'll try to reach out to people from other like developers, and they're like, just play it on PC. It's more viable there. But people on the MAME 2003 Plus team and FB Neo team, they actually care. They give a rat's butt about, look, I got that bonus there, 400,000 without even touching a single enemy there. How awesome is that? Funny stuff. But yes, the Sega Master System version was fantastic. And we're going to jump on to another thing here. A little demonstration here. I'm going to show you when I'm talking about when we were playing Hard Dunk and we lost our RAM usage there, I'm going to load an earlier version of Beetle Adventure Racing for Nintendo 64 here. Make sure I load in one. Should be for 2K22, the earlier core I did for Ludicrous a couple years back. And look at the top left here. And here's something you're going to learn today. Today I learned Beetle Adventure Racing started out as a Need for Speed game. Look, 250 megabytes of RAM. The RAM is just draining here. It's like a big memory leak. And I determined what was causing this, and for Ludicrous 2K24 Xtreme Amped, I was able to fix it up. So we're going to start this game here, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this being a Need for Speed game here. This might be the final demonstration for this particular video, and then I'll do more like System 32, Multi-32 stuff tomorrow when I have a day off. But again, 256 megabytes of RAM there. And RAM usage is the big thing, because again, these various mini classics, like we're talking like the Mega Drive SNES and SNES classics only have 256 megabytes of RAM. And then of course the PlayStation Classic has a gig of RAM. The Amiga 500 Mini has 512 megabytes of RAM. I mean, this is simply not enough to really function when we have these memory leaks with dynamic recompiler. And a side effect of using dynamic recompiler, which we're using right now, is that there's a memory leak. You'll just slowly but surely use more and more memory depending on your game. Like a game like Mario Kart 64 might run out of memory after like 14 hours of gameplay. But a game like Killer Instinct or Paper Mario could run out within like 30 seconds to a minute. But look at my RAM there. It's 302 megabytes of RAM being used. That's absurd. So this game's going to particularly crash when we get to one of the more complex stages as far as assets are concerned. And it's funny if you ever like do that jump there and land right on top of a car, and you're still wondering, what are you talking about? Need for Speed game? I mean, it feels like a Need for Speed game. Looks like a Need for Speed game. Is it a Need for Speed game? I'm going to show you here because I'm going to get to the red barn up here, and we're going to look at my RAM usage up here when we get to the red barn. Oh, and by the way, let me know what you're watching on your streaming services. I've gone to Terrifier, the short film, which is on Tubi, Terrifier 1 on Tubi, Terrifier 2 on Freebie. And of course, I did Terrifier 3 on demand, and I was going into this thinking it was going to be like this crazy movie. And again, I've seen movies like these for decades, and it didn't really surprise me, but I really did enjoy the practical effects, and it wasn't all CGI like you'd expect it to be for the typical horror movie. So we're at 364 megabytes of RAM when we get to this tunnel here, 377. Actually, it's not exit the game yet because I'm going to exit the stage, go to a new track. I'm going to go to the stage that typically takes up more RAM usage here. Again, we got Mount Mayhem coming. See, we only got 2 stages there, but I have a debug mode built into this core. Look, Need for Speed. Yes, it was a Need for Speed game. We could alter many things, including the speed of the cars. I could open up all the cars, open up all the tracks here. We could even go to tracks that aren't even in the game. Look at this. Coventry Cove, Mount Mayhem, Inferno Isle, and right here, this is the track that uses a lot of RAM. I mean, Mad Franco 008, when he was testing this, he told me that this would consistently crash, and even with the 512 megabytes of RAM on Amiga 500 Mini, it just simply wasn't good. Look, the RAM's still going up here. We're going to load the same game on 2K24, Ludicrous, where I had to fix up for the memory leak here. But look, the RAM just keeps going up, and eventually you're just going to run out of memory, and the game's going to slow down to a crawl freeze. We used to use like a sRGB toggle to fix this. Look, it's just going to keep going up. It's going to crash if I don't stop it here. But what we used to do here, a workaround for this, before we had virtual RAM on a Mega Drive SNES and its classics, was going into RetroArch settings, output video, and doing force disable sRGB toggle. What it actually essentially does here is clears your memory. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about here. You can do this I would recommend doing it when you have no content loaded here. See, I took a second to quit there. I would have probably froze my system if I would have kept playing it, but we're going to go into retro video settings, output, and right here, we're actually clearing the cache, clearing the memory, so we're from scratch here. So if you're loading some intensive games, close content, and do this force disable, it doesn't matter what direction you do it. It's kind of like a little exploit here. Kind of like, I always enjoy my exploits in games, like even playing like Rygar on PS2, you could actually stand behind walls, objects, and hit enemies, and just go through almost nearly the entire game without getting hit by a single enemy. It's just kind of like an exploit in the game. Double Dragon 4 on next gen. Stay at the bottom of the screen. You don't get hit at all. But we're going to do Beetle Adventure Racing. And we're going to do, I did 2 versions of this. I removed the fog, and I had the fog kind of somewhat intact. So we're going to do the one where I kind of took the fog out here. And we're going to compare the memory usage here. Same thing. Again, I just cleared the cache, so we're going to go from scratch here and see how it works. Now, starting the game here. Do the same stage. 214, roughly, megabytes of RAM there. Again, we got to like 400 plus megabytes of RAM usage on Beetle Adventure Racing. And if you try loading that Metro Madness on the Mega Drive SNES, NES Classics without having like virtual RAM, you're not going to make it more than like 30 seconds in that track. It's ridiculous. And I have many fix-ups to Ludicrous and MAME, Amiga, etc. And I'm going to do more videos over the next few days. So we're going to do the first stage here, exactly as is. 28 megabytes of RAM here. Try to get to the barn here. Okay. And I'm just kind of desyncing audio so I can get to that point faster. Because I want to be able to show you the memory usage. It ain't going to matter if you desync the audio or not. I just want to get to that same point and show you the memory usage. And yes, the game will run a little bit faster here. And that little hiccup you see is the dynamic recompiler, like stopping to a halt. And you know how I showed you the sRGB toggle? That little hesitation you saw for a minute millisecond is actually the memory being cleared on the fly. Look, we're at 271 megabytes of RAM. You're going to expect it to jump to like 300, 400 in no time here, but look, it's just going to kind of even out here. I'm going to get to the barn here, into the first tunnel. Look at this. We're almost 50 megabytes less RAM usage for that point right there. Let's get to the tunnel here. Remember, it was like 377 right there. Look at it, 100 megabytes less. Let's go back, exit track. Then we're going to do the same thing here. There we go, Need for Speed. We're going to pick all the tracks again. And it's cool because you can do like so many different things in this menu here. Look at these options here. You can actually go to display and like mess with the dithering, the anti-aliasing, texture filters, the wide SQL, the brightness, bitmaps. I mean, you could. These are essentially like development kits were not able to be sent out to everybody. There was just a limited supply of them. So what a lot of these developers did is they put development tools into the games themselves. So, I mean, they'd literally be able to, like, test out all the tracks that weren't in the game. Like, if I go to track here, look, I can go to tracks that aren't even in the game. Track 8, track 9, drag strip, derby. These are tracks that aren't even in the game. So, I'm going to have this, like, in my release. I'm going to have a debug build where you can actually load debug build. Then you just simply tap up or down on your D-pad, and it'll pull up this entire debug menu. Like, I could even go to, like, this right here. And that changes like how fast the car moves. So I'm going to go back to the main game here. I'm going to go to the Metro Madness. And look, we're 275 megabytes of RAM. If I would have just been in the menu, the RAM would have still just kept a mountain here. Here we go. Remember, we got to over 400 megabytes of RAM in no time on this stage. See what we can do here. And we just cleared memory again. All right. And I've been able to make it through this track without any crash and no need to do sRGB toggle. And not only that, I have another game working which didn't work before, and this is going to blow your mind. I don't know if you're ready for this. And that'll be in my next video, but I'll show you a little preview sneak of it right now. So yeah, I could pretty much go through this entire track and probably never get past 300 megabytes of RAM. And again, when you play this on the Mega Drive SNES Classics, the actual displayed RAM usage is going to be different. It's just the way that the memory is used, because I don't think it's really optimized for the Amiga 500 Mini. Even though we have 512 megabytes of RAM, it's not really optimally used. It is just very, very unoptimal, because I could load like certain games and they run slower because of the RAM unoptimization here. I'm going to show you one more thing here. And I have it set where you load one Nintendo 64 game at a time. If you try to load another one, it's going to just clear the memory intentionally. So if you, I'll give you an example of this here for my final example here. So I just have to show you this. I have this working now. I have Shadows of the Empire working, and I played this for a few hours when I got this working a good month ago. And it's just blowing my mind how fun this is, because this is one of those games where back in the day, I went and bought the game. I came home and I played the entire game from beginning to end, with nonstop. How many games do you know that you played all night? Like, one of the last few games I played all night until I beat it was Shovel Knight, that retro-style game, which is a little bit like Mega Man, etc. So there we go. And I have battled off, and if you ever get to the second stage, you'll notice there's tremendous flickering, but look here, this is awesome. And again, I gotta turn off, I have it where I have like the load save states here under hotkeys, because I was messing around with that. Check this out, it's like a first-person shooter here. Look, no flickering, and you can actually do the stage now. I'm gonna go into first-person mode. Look how fun this is. So yes, you're gonna be able to play this on the ludicrous 2K24 Xtreme Amp Core. I was playing this for hours, just absolutely enjoying it. Love my Star Wars games. Oh yeah. And so this is working great. And I'm going to give you another thing. I wondered, as a result here, for one other game here, I'm like, what would happen if I removed the fog from a game like Turok Dinosaur Hunter? So check this out. This is kind of funny. You'll see what happens if you have no fog in Turok. And this is going to be the final demonstration for this video. I'll do more tomorrow. So we're loading this up here. And kind of like, I took the fog out on purpose just to see like how this would display. And I was getting a work around like increasing draw distance too, kind of like the PC incarnation. But watch what happens here if I go up here. The objects are just going to pop in. You'll see this particularly when I'm up here. Watch carefully how they just pop in like they're created out of nowhere. Right here, watch this. This is fun. Look at that. See that? The fog doesn't mask it like it should. It's just, they just, so all that foreground fog is just completely gone and it's just all mucked up now. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and again, there's going to be some tremendous stuff going out for the release. And again, thank you Arcades 2003, Mahoney T944, Grand 2258, Ding C64, and everybody else that helped collaborate with this amazing Xtreme project. And be sure to check out the Terrifier movies, and let me know if there's anything else you've been watching lately. Enjoy your day.